he found that it was active, and he would find things like, well, this one, I've changed it this way, that's very active on sound. This one, I changed it that way, it's very active on visual. This one, changed this way, it's very active on emotional. I mean, that's what his work with MDMA. He figured out there are emotional compounds as well. Or he would find out that he could go up and take 2 or 3 grams of it. I mean, a big horse pill of it, and it would do absolutely nothing. So I started to think, okay, so they're produced in the body, you can create them in a lab, and they also exist in nature, like plants like ayahuasca. Well, that's a combination of plants. Things like, simple fungus or cactus, cacti, different things like that. If you take the active compounds, they're actually all related to each other. They're all tryptamines. They're either all tryptamines or they're phenylalanine, something like that. They're all related to basic neurotransmitters. So like, oh, okay. Well, interesting. Interesting because you say, well, I took that once, and that, I saw a lot of things. Yeah, because that compound works very heavily on your visual. It goes to where the visual neurotransmitters go, and you see funny things. Okay, what's my time? Yeah, I'm okay. You have to go faster. I'm almost done here. These next two, because I could go on talking about that forever. These next two, dreaming, just very quickly. Have you had dreams where you fly? Well, that's interesting, right? Okay. Have you had dreams where it's called a lucid dream, where you actually wake up in the dream, you say, oh, okay, here I am at a table. I don't know any of you. I don't know why I'm here. I'm in a different city. But then all of a sudden, I go, oh, this is a dream. And how can I affect this dream? Usually I go and I run and I look for girls. I'm a really bad man in my dreams. Or I try to fly or something like that. Or try to affect what's around me. Open a door. Dreaming. Now, you have to think about, if you can lucid dream, can you also have lucid waking? This would be waking. Can you wake up in this reality and affect it? Of course we can, right? I could do crazy things here too. There are laws against it. Or, can I fly? Possibly I can. I'm not going to try soon, but it might be possible. Okay, meditation. All the people that I talked about, Terence McKenna, I talked about Peter Russell a little bit, all these people, Thomas Campbell. I didn't actually give any quotes from Thomas Campbell. I talked about his theory of everything. All these people talk about meditation, saying if you want to do something very basic to affect and grow your consciousness, meditate. I liken it to, and I'll just make this, I've got a couple more things actually. Consciousness, so you're at this point on consciousness. Meditation sort of brings you down to the consciousness itself. Or if you think of consciousness as an ocean, it's wavy, it makes everything very calm. Meditation. Leave that out. Okay, conclusion. Am I hot? I'm okay. Conclusion. This is another thing that comes from Terence McKenna. I think it's really great. It says, I'm not going to quote him, but we're going through a birth. If you think about it, we each individually go through a birth when we are born, coming out of the womb. But if you think about as a global culture, as a global community, society, it's just all the humanity on Earth, we're all going through a birth at this point. Through an evolution of consciousness. The only thing that could possibly go wrong is we could create toxic shock in the system. It's kind of what's going on with pollution, deforestation, overpopulation, etc., etc. So, that's it, the birth. We're being born into the future, I guess. Yes, so the importance of awakening into consciousness is to see at the base of everything, every object, every emotion, every galaxy, every dream, there is consciousness. That's it. Okay, I'm done. So, how much time do we have?
Yeah. Well,
how much time did I talk?
Now it's 8:45.
Okay.
Yeah.
Questions?
We are actually scheduled until 9 because we rent this room. We can stay maybe until 9:15 something. If you have any questions, you can ask Ethan.
You had a question.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of questions, but I haven't quite...
I'm not sure if I will have all of the answers. That's part of what we're doing here.
Okay,
We're trying to make questions and
just
answers.
simple questions now, and then later we can have a free discussion if you have more like.
All right, so what you were saying is that, I just want to get straight what exactly you were saying, the kind of tie that binds all these 5 different
Well,
fields.
I guess the tie would be consciousness itself. I mean, if you look at it from a physics point of view, you know, maybe classic physics point of view, you might not find any. I mean, that would be a good question for Bendit. You might not. Actually, that was the first question that I asked Bendit. That's right. It was a horrible question. What about metaphysics in physics? Something like that. You're not going to see the things that bring them together. If you're a, I can't say this for sure, but if you hold with one religion and what your religion teaches is meditation and doesn't teach anything else, then you do the meditation and that's going to be your thing. If you happen to be a spiritualist, you know, whatever kind of healer kind of thing, you might think about your dreams and that would be it. Or if you're a philosopher, it might be metaphysics and ethics and stuff like that. I'm just, you know, in my search for finding out these questions of why am I here and what really exists and learning more and more, I've just said, oh, wow, so at the basis of everything is consciousness, and physics comes from consciousness. Physics is built out of our search for consciousness. Metaphysics is built out of our search for that. Psychedelic states are built from our search for consciousness, as well as dreaming and meditation. They're all different ways of searching for what's the base.
Any more questions?
More questions?
But the base is consciousness.
The base of everything, all matter, everything is consciousness. More questions? Got a few more minutes for questions. Don't be afraid.
There's nobody else in the
Go ahead. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so you talked about Revelation and Moses and the burning bush. And you said that that is actually a psychedelic state. So that, to me, makes a very big argument or claim that Revelation is a psychedelic state.
Well, I don't mean...
How do you define psychedelic state?
Right. Well, I said that that was a naturally occurring psychedelic state, as opposed to one where you actively seek it out and ingest something.
Right.
Psychedelic state, I should have written down a Webster dictionary definition of it, but it's basically just a different view on what we would classically consider to be this reality.
The mainstream accepted version of reality.
Yeah, that bushes usually, burning bushes usually don't talk kind of thing.